It started off with a drift trike. Then I added a motor. And now I have an electric e-bike lowrider. It's not an electric scooter. Why? Because it has pedal power. Now there are some things that we need to address. As you can see, as the load comes down, there is flex in that frame which needs to be addressed, because flex is not a good thing, because there's a good chance it's just going to break. And when you're going down the road flying, you don't want to break in half. Yes, you don't want that. So I'm planning to add 2 reinforcement pieces of wood. They're going to act like leaf springs, but wood. So basically, as you can see, the front end doesn't have a lot of reinforcement wood. So by me putting these outer pieces of wood, it really helps a lot. Then I'm going to remove the U-bolts and replace them with proper bolts. And as you can see, it's holding my weight very, very well, which is a good thing. Now it is a reliable machine. That is what we want. Now there's another problem I need to address. This electric scooter or e-bike has a punctureless tire, but the problem with the punctureless tire that I'm using, it's from a kid's bike. And this kid's bike, if you had to compare it to an air tire, it's like running 30 psi. So I converted it to an air tire, and now look how fast it's going. It's cruising down the road at high speed, 28 kilometers an hour. That is super fast compared to before I was only going like 15 kilometers an hour, so that's a double increase. Now I thought of reducing the sprocket, but that ended in failure, so the sprocket I had on is perfectly fine. Now it's time for the big upgrade. I'm planning to put massive speakers. This is going to dominate the road with its sound and its bass. It may not have the most expensive equipment, but it's just definitely going to be an eye catcher. Now I'm going to build the box myself. I found some cheap materials. I used the lightest materials possible because we don't want a lot of weight. That's why I use this type of material. Now I just have to assemble the box, glue it together, cut it, and then let it take shape. As you can see, it's already coming along. Now the bottom piece is actually way bigger than the pieces I used to build most of the box. That's because the bottom is going to hold the weight. Now the bottom is the most important and we don't want it breaking. So that's why I used it, even though it's so heavy. And sometimes a bit of weight is a good thing when you have structural support. Now it's time to paint it. I'm going to go with gold and pink, and surprisingly enough, I just picked the colors at random, only to find out that the front end is also pink, so it's going to be color matching. Now it's time for the most important thing, design. And the palm tree design is beautiful. I can't believe the blue I put on the top makes it look like I painted the sky. Such an artiste, such a masterpiece. It's just beautiful. I can't believe I created this. What have I done? I built this. Now it's time for the next step, installation of the speakers. Wait, I have to varnish it. Now varnishing is quite tricky because the varnish actually removes the paint, which is a problem. But if you add a lot of varnish and then just brush it lightly, then it will work. The top, I perfected it, but the sides, they ended up in a disaster. So what I decided to do is I decided to spray paint the design on top of the varnish, which ended up nice. It's perfectly fine. So now it's time to install these speaker connectors. They're gonna allow me to connect to the speakers, and they'll allow me to connect independent they will allow me to connect to independent channels, which is a good thing. Instead of connecting the speakers in mono, now I can run stereo, which is good. Now it's time to build the frame. Now, yes, putting the frame, making the frame way lower is good because there's less center of gravity, but I just thought higher is better because it gives me more access. Now I'm going to be adding a relay. This relay actually comes with a remote. This relay will allow me to control the bubble machine. Yes, I'm adding a bubble machine. This is the new project right here. As you can see, there's finally two massive speakers on an electric scooter. That has never been done before. I built this custom box myself. I made sure to use light materials. Why? Because it's cheap and it's light as well. So I get to reduce the weight. It has this massive bubble machine at the back. As you can see, I have this remote on the handlebars right here. Look at this, look at this. Boom. Look, I can go all the way back here. Boom. Boom. More. There we go. Right here. There's a relay down here. Right here. And then the relay is connected to the step down right here. 12-volt step down. So this is what powers the relay. Then this tiny 7.4 volt battery powers the bubble machine right here. Then we have the bubble machine tank right here. As you can see, if we come on the other side, there's a nice refill thing right here. You can easily open it up, top up the tank, and then close it back up. Then at the back of the speaker, we have a nice porthole right here. There's also another porthole in the front right there. Then we have our left speaker, and then right speaker outputs or inputs right here. We have the amplifier right here, Bluetooth amplifier, and then this Bluetooth amplifier connects to your phone, so that works out nicely. And then yeah, it's beautiful, it works out. So now I can easily just click the button anytime I want, and you got bubbles. Now we press the music. Thanks for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing. I hope to see you in another video. Bye.